But you all know Foyo, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
the
So
magazine.
yeah, so a while back they actually approached me whether I'd be keen, I'd be able to be their advisor. Yeah,
Okay.
because some 1 or 2 years back, they had an interview, and then we happened to talk about the things I'm doing. So one of the things is the alaya. I mean, um, that came up, right?
Mm.
So I shared with them. Um, so recently we had a meeting, and then yeah, so they have invited myself, and then there's this Joy Fashi, and then another venerable Zhiwei. No, can't remember his name, but three of us. Initially, they said they want me to hit the thing, but I told them, think better get everybody to do together. Yeah, but the important thing is the website. I will talk to you offline about this.
Sure.
And those who are keen to get involved, you all can maybe stay back after this also. Yeah, yeah. You all know Foyo, right? Oh, some of you know, some of you don't know. Foyo is, let me show you the magazine. Foyo magazine. Yeah. So Foyo itself, right? It started off serving a lot like a directory for Buddhist organizations. Yeah. So for the longest time, even until now, I think when people want to look for organizations and contact, right, they'll look for Foyo. Yeah. Some people do look at it to see what programs are coming up, but is sorted by organizations and not by events. So at the first place, you need to know the organization before you would know which one to go to. Yeah. So anyway, part of the impetus for Alaya was actually because I was hoping that we can, relook at how Buddhist organizations, events, and Buddhists can be better matched. Yeah, because if you think about it, right, for in Singapore there are about 1.5 to 1.6, or maybe even now 1.7 million Buddhists. But as a Buddhist, most people do not have to really like. There's no obligation on the part of a Buddhist to do anything. So most people, the being a Buddhist just is more like incidental. Yeah, the parent happened to be Buddhist, they happen to fill up the form, as in the parents fill up the form when you are born Buddhist, then you are Buddhist, no? So this is what I call form Buddhist. Yeah, as an application form, when you fill up job application, they ask you what religion, then you fill up Buddhist. So as a result, for most Buddhists, they can go through their whole life without really knowing what Buddhism is. Yeah, except for the maybe occasional Buddhist movie that happen to pop up, or some, fighting film, like the ancient fighting film. Then they have a monk come out, 色不异空，空不异色，色即是空，空即是色。平生已经放下了世间红尘啊，你们请回吧。The kind of thing. Then, so a lot of Buddhists actually have a lot of misconception about Buddhism. And but still, most Buddhists wouldn't actually participate in any Buddhist activity, be it Dharma class, be it puja chanting, or retreats, yeah, and so on and so forth. The one time that most Buddhists would actually encounter Buddhism in a more in-depth manner would be when their family member passed away. Yeah, and that's actually not very in-depth also, right? But that would be one opportunity for them to actually get a bit more in touch. Yeah, and but then at that point in time, then it depends on whether the venerable do bring in a bit more of the Dharma part. Yeah, there are those who through the service, through the memorial service, they get very touched, and then they because they go to a temple to get a niche and so on, then they may see some posters and interesting, Buddhism have children class. Oh, oh, Buddhism, what is this? There's a talk. Oh, Buddhism got talk one. I thought Buddhism just eat vegetarian food. Oh, interesting. Then they happen to go out for a talk. Then after that, then they start to know, oh, wow, so much activities. So this is the state of Buddhism for the longest time, since when I was a kid. Either you're in or you're not in. So in terms of the awareness of activities and involvement, you have what I would call a exponential curve. Yeah. So you may not really know what is Buddhism. Yeah. Although you are Buddhist. And then the moment you get into the Buddhist, so-called Buddhist circle, you take part in some activities, and then your exposure to the programs just go up exponentially. Yeah. You attend one, then you realize there's 5, then you attend 3, then you realize, wow, there's so many. Yeah. Then you wonder, hey, where which one to go? Oh, they're very busy. So what has this got to do with Foyo and Alaya, right? It's because years back, I came out with this program called In Touch. Yeah, this is not the same as the one from CPF. But I came out with the name first. I didn't trademark it, but it's called In Touch. I actually wrote a white paper. Yeah, I wrote a white paper. And the white paper basically talk about getting, and I was in the federation, and it was a program that I proposed to the federation, basically to get representative from different temples to come together and come up with a theme for every month of the whole year. Yeah, and then to do island-wide publicity for Buddhism. Yeah, so every month there will be a theme, and then under each theme there will be a bit of a narrative on it, and every temple in Singapore will be teaching something related to this theme. Yeah, and then in the advertisement, it will showcase all the different temples with different programs throughout. Yeah. So then that's part of the so-called campaign. And then there will be this, what do you call that? There will also be a website for them to find more specific details. And you can search by locality, yeah, north, south, east, west, central. And then you can also search by activities. Sounds very similar, right? Yeah, that's how I envision it. But at that point in time, there was no strong impetus to write Alaya. Yeah, until a few years ago, because of our own activities, yeah, to make it easier for the volunteers, so I wrote Alaya. Yeah, then I thought, how to get people on board. Yeah, so I thought of collaborating with Foyo, but I never quite get onto it until recently they approached me. Yeah. So Sean, maybe we can talk about this at maybe not immediately after this morning session. And those of you who are keen to let's say, I don't know, not don't be thinking like, oh, what can I be doing? But those who are keen in this idea, yeah, can maybe drop me a note, and then we can have some discussion after this. Yeah. Foyo has been around for, I think, 30 plus years. Yeah, because since I think when we were in secondary school, they were already around. Yeah. So they were having a bit of a challenge. They were having a bit of a challenge So they're trying to adapt their model, because for the longest time, theirs is a print model, yeah, publishing model. And their website hasn't quite catch up with the new format, yeah. So that's one thing I wanted to share a bit also. And today, any questions from you all? Anything you want to ask? You can ask about the Foyo thing also, or any questions about Dharma.
Good morning, Sifu and everyone. Just a comment, right? I think interestingly and ironically, these days, I think my friends and I see fellow Buddhists getting interested in Buddhism because Buddhism is coming in from the West to Singapore and to many countries. I think it's like I think Buddhism is getting very strong in the West, like a lot of publicity on His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and then the various Vajrayana teachers like Mingo Rinpoche. So
Yeah.
many books. They are very good at Facebook, YouTube videos. So a lot of publicity, and I think like see some of my friends, their first exposure to Buddhism is Tibetan Buddhism.
Yes.
So it's very interesting how it went from Asia to the West and now West back to Asia again.
Yes.
Just my observation.
Yeah. Your observation is absolutely spot on. And it is indeed an irony, because like, especially for Singaporeans, we grew up with Buddhism in our blood, in our culture. Yeah. I'm very thankful for the religious knowledge program back in the 80s that we had in the public school. And I think that really, that plus the series of talks that was made available in the late 80s, mid-late 80s up to 90s, really helped myself, and I think a lot of my peers, to have a different understanding, a deeper understanding, a right understanding of what Buddhism is really about. Yeah. But indeed, the Tibetan Buddhism, is making Buddhism available for a lot of people, and I would say a lot has to do with language. Yeah, Chinese Mahayana Buddhism for the longest time is stuck in the Tang Dynasty. We are stuck with being Teng Nang and not Hu Gao Dao. Yeah, we are stuck with the Chinese culture. Yeah, and forget that the important part is the Dharma that we need to be sharing. Yeah. I had some heated discussion with some fellow monks and fellow Buddhists before about this. Yeah, about how, like, as much as I appreciate the Chinese language and all, but if you think about it, if the early masters had insisted on being authentic, then they should have stuck with Sanskrit or Pali. Yeah, then you should have brought, we should be building stupa and not the Chinese pagoda. Yeah, then we have to wear this all the way throughout China. Then a lot of the monks will have frozen to death in the harsh winter, or dry it up, get heat stroke in the Gobi, in the desert, Yeah. But we'll see. I think it is really good for Buddhism that any of the lineages is actually alive, because it has a knock-on effect. Yeah, and you can see that even in the Chinese Mahayana tradition, there are increasingly more and more venerables who are bilingual and who are open to using the English language to teach Chinese Mahayana Buddhism. Yeah. Theravada Buddhism also got a boost from a few of the Sri Lankan venerables, like the late Venerable Dhammananda and our Buddhist library, very strong. I must say he supports us a lot. Bhante Dhammaratana, yeah, and various other venerables from Sri Lanka. Thai Buddhism got a boost because of Ajahn Chah and his Western disciples. That also brought a surge earlier in the, I think in the 90s. Yeah, Ajahn Sumedho in particular. But now Ajahn Sumedho's health, yeah, and his age is catching up. Oh, we all have limited shelf life. Yeah. Xinghui, you wanted to ask or share something?
I was about to ask a question.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking, many a times we heard people say, when you make decisions, to follow your gut.
Oh.
So I was just thinking for Buddhists, we have to use like what, wisdom and right view, but it's very broad. So is there a simple checklist that we can do to help to guide us to make the right decision?
Okay. So yes, that's a good question. Because people do say that, right? Follow your gut feeling. Yeah. Yeah. Follow your heart. Yeah. The best thing is I see a lot of Buddhists also posting such things. Yeah. And sometimes if you just post such things, that's another thing. Some of them post such things and then have Buddha image there. Follow your heart. Your heart knows where to go. It's like, since when did Buddha say that? Yeah, our heart is not reliable until we're enlightened. Yeah, if you're not enlightened, don't follow your heart. Don't follow your gut. Your gut will ask you to go and do stupid things. Yeah, your gut, your feelings, your heart will tell you to go and do things that gives you the most drive. But what is our most highest drive? It's a samsaric drive. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely right. Right view, wisdom, not to forget compassion. Yeah. So if you can distill it down, it'll be compassion and wisdom. And if you were to then ask a question, what does it mean by follow compassion and wisdom? So compassion would be to ask yourself, what is your intent? Yeah. Is it to benefit or to harm the person? Yeah. Compassion, you must be helping to benefit, to remove that suffering. Of course, when we say compassion, it always comes with loving kindness. So, 慈能与乐，悲能拔苦, yeah, the two parts. So, and this will correspond to avoid all evil, to do to do all good. Yeah. So loving kindness, compassion. And then the next part, the wisdom part, would be to ask yourself, is your intention pure? Yeah. And then, so wisdom can be split into two parts. One is the pure wisdom part, which is your intention pure? Yeah. That means, is there attachment? And then the second part will be, is your methods pure? Is it the best way? I split in this way, the 根本智, 后得智. Although we don't have but we use something similar to that. So you just check yourself, what is your is it pure, free of the ego? Yeah. The first part is just help, whether it's helping or harming. Yeah. Let me clarify. When we say whether it's pure, there's two levels of purity. One is whether it's helping or harming. Another level is our mind pure when we are doing it? Yeah. So we can be helping people, but with taints. Yeah. That means with a bit of selfishness. I help because this is my friend. Yeah. If we help in this way, then if one day this person scold us, then we don't help. Because wow, I admire this person, so I help. One day I don't admire already, then I don't help. Even though this person need help. Yeah. So So this is the first part of the wisdom. Second part of wisdom is to use our wisdom to check whether this is the best way to do it. Because sometimes we may not be the best person also. The best part can be, am I the best person to do? Is this the best way? And is this the best person to be helped? So there are roughly these few criteria. Yeah. And of course, if you drill further, then it can encompass all the teachings that Buddha has covered, including like, is this the right time, and so on and so forth. But I feel that if you just look at these few questions, it should cover most of the things, or areas that sometimes we are blindsided. Yeah. In particular, the part about whether we are the right person to help. Okay. Have a helpful day ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sifu.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Those who are interested in the In Touch program with Foyo, send me a text. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.